Top story tonight, outrage on board an Allegiant Airlines flight. 4 African-American teenage boys were forced off their plane by flight attendants before takeoff over claims they weren't wearing masks. But the teens, all part of a basketball team, say they were in fact wearing face coverings.
CBS 13's Steve Large is live in Sacramento with the flight fallout. Steve.
And these are 16 and 17-year-olds who are on this plane without their parents. They say the airline called police to have them escorted off the plane, then left them to fend for themselves.
They got the cops out here. They kicked us off that Allegiant flight.
Cell phone video shows Mesa, Arizona police escorting the 4 Sacramento teenagers off their Allegiant Airlines flight and back into the terminal.
They really kicked us off the plane, buddy.
After flight attendants accused the boys of not wearing masks and not complying with repeated requests to put them on.
We had our mask on.
You did have them on?
Yes, sir.
The teens say they were wearing their masks, and when the flight attendants asked them to pull the masks up over their noses, they did.
She was more so saying that we had the mask underneath our nose to where it wasn't fully on over our whole face.
And they said that we was disobeying when they first asked us, even though all our teammates said yes, yes, ma'am, and pulled it above our nose.
Allegiant Airlines issued a statement reading, "The party refused to comply with federal regulations requiring face coverings throughout travel. After repeated and disruptive refusals to comply, the party was deplaned from the flight."
To me, that's crazy because that's not what happened. And we have witnesses that said that didn't have a problem with us.
I did not hear anything disruptive, disrespectful.
Passenger Amy Flanagan was sitting next to the teens and watched the exchange on the flight unfold. She says the airline is wrong.
They weren't doing anything that made me think that warranted them getting kicked off. I think it was just really disturbing, honestly.
Several of the teens called their parents when police arrived to escort them off the plane. Keandra Phipps says her son's call was the only one she got.
You're telling me that because somebody's mask slipped below their nose that they have to be taken off the plane completely? 16 and 17-year-olds, and you don't tell their parents? You don't care what happens to them? That doesn't happen to people that aren't brown.
A mother's allegations of racial profiling on an Allegiant Airlines flight.
When the police came on the plane, I mean, that was kind of scary.
After her son's team was forced off.
They got the cops out here. They kicked us off that Allegiant flight.
I want to mention that I spoke to 2 passengers who were on this plane, witnesses to this exchange, both of them separately, and they each say that as the teens were being escorted off the plane by police, passengers surrounding them who had witnessed this exchange started giving the teens money, knowing that their parents weren't around. Ultimately, they were able to get a hold of their coach, also in Arizona, but who was not on the plane. He was able to find them a room where they spent the night, and they got back on a different airline this morning to fly home.